Welcome back to Dollar Chronicles. Today, we're unlocking the hidden history behind the world's ultimate safe haven currency. It's a story of war, survival, and a shocking financial twist that literally changed global markets overnight. Before we get into this wild explainer, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get into it. Picture this. You walk out to buy a simple loaf of bread, but the money in your pocket is a complete mess. You're living in a country where 319 different types of coins are circulating at the exact same time. You've got local coins, foreign money, random pieces of gold and silver. It was absolute, unmitigated chaos. That was Switzerland right before 1798. It wasn't the impenetrable financial fortress we know today, it was a complete financial maze. So it begs a massive question. How exactly did complete and utter chaos evolve into the world's safest, most reliable currency? We're going to break down how Switzerland's turned a fractured, deeply confusing system into a global economic fortress. But I have to warn you, the secret isn't just about good banking. It involves surviving multiple global catastrophes, and as you'll see, some incredibly ruthless decisions. Part 1. The chaos of 319 coins. To really understand the invincible Swiss franc of today, we first have to witness the sheer disaster of its origins. Because what you're about to find out proves that financial stability, it's never an accident, it's engineered. Just look at this sheer turbulence. In 1798, the Helvetic Republic forced everyone to use a single currency. Sounds great, right? But then, just a few years later, in 1803, Napoleon Bonaparte steps in, completely dismantles it, and fractures the whole system all over again. After surviving a brutal roller coaster of French invasions, Napoleonic takeovers, and even a civil war, a new federal constitution finally centralized the money in 1848. The modern Swiss franc was then officially born with the Monetary Act of 1850. But creating a brand new currency meant they had to completely destroy the old one. To clean up the market, the government literally had to withdraw 66 million obsolete coins from circulation. It was a massive, virtually unprecedented physical undertaking just to wipe the slate clean and establish absolute trust. Now, at its birth, this newly minted Swiss franc wasn't the independent titan we think of today. It was actually tied directly to the French franc, matching its value exactly. But its greatest test of survival, the exact event that would sever those ties and forge its legendary status, was looming right on the horizon. Part 2. Birth of a safe haven. As the 20th century dawned, Europe was about to descend into a financial and political nightmare. And this is exactly where the Swiss franc story takes a dramatic turn, from a regional, basic coin to an absolute global powerhouse. Following World War I, the contrast across Europe was terrifying. Over in Germany, the mark was suffering historic, devastating hyperinflation. People literally needed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy basic groceries. But meanwhile, the Swiss franc remained fiercely anchored to the gold standard. Switzerland almost instantly became a magnet for terrified foreign wealth. Money just poured across the borders seeking safety, officially cementing the franc's reputation as the ultimate safe haven. But here's a twist that nobody saw coming. Think about this. What would you do if your country's money suddenly became too valuable? I mean, having a currency that everyone in the entire world wants sounds like a dream, right? Well, the truth is, that exact strength was about to trigger a massive internal economic disaster. Part 3. The only historical devaluation. Here is exactly how incredible strength turns into an absolute crisis. See, when your currency is incredibly valuable, buying foreign goods is super cheap. But trying to sell your own goods abroad, it becomes mathematically impossible. Because the franc was so insanely expensive, the rest of the world simply couldn't afford to buy Swiss exports anymore. Swiss businesses started collapsing left and right, wiping out jobs and pushing unemployment to a staggering 20% by the mid-1930s. The currency was absolutely thriving, but to save its workforce from total ruin, Switzerland had to make a drastic, unprecedented choice. On September 26, 1936, they devalued their currency for the first and literally only time in history. From there, they fiercely protected their independence. In 1944, they flat out refused to join the Bretton Woods system that pegged global currencies to the US dollar. And when the world finally shifted to floating exchange rates in 1971, well, the floodgates blew wide open. The franc suddenly became a terrifying, double-edged sword. During the 1970s oil shocks, panicked global investors flooded their cash right back into Switzerland. By the 1990s, the Swiss National Bank desperately tried to fight off this aggressive speculation by raising interest rates. And they accidentally triggered a massive domestic recession. The central bank suddenly found itself fighting a decades-long war against its own currency's massive popularity. Part 4. The Modern Market Tsunami. If you thought the 20th century history was wild, the modern era brings an entirely new level of chaos. The franc's reputation was about to trigger a literal shockwave across global markets. First, we have to really understand what a safe haven currency truly is. Basically, it's an investment expected to retain or even increase in value during times of intense market turbulence. When the 2008 financial crisis melted down global markets, terrified investors did exactly that. They rushed straight into the Swiss franc, threatening to completely destroy the Swiss export economy all over again. To stop the currency from literally becoming a weapon against its own people, the Swiss National Bank did something extreme. In 2011, they artificially pegged the franc to the euro, setting a strict floor of 1.20 francs per euro. And they defended this floor with billions. That is, until a shocking morning in January 2015, when they suddenly, without any warning, abandoned the floor completely. The sudden abandonment of that floor triggered a global monetary tsunami on the markets. Within minutes, the euro plummeted below parity. This bold, terrifying move proved that the Swiss central bank was willing to shock the entire world and do whatever it takes to survive. They showed everyone they are absolutely not afraid to rewrite the rules. Part 5. Secrets of Swiss Strength. So, after centuries of war, hyperinflation, massive market crashes, and monetary tsunamis, what is the actual secret formula here? What makes this specific currency virtually indestructible? The answer is about to blow your mind. Just look at how it has absolutely crushed the US dollar over the last century. Back in 1914, one single US dollar bought you more than 5 Swiss francs. Fast forward to 2011, and that exact same dollar bought you less than 1 franc. The real mystery here is how they sustained this incredible momentum year after year, decade after decade. The answer lies in 4 unbreakable pillars. First, extreme geopolitical neutrality. They stay out of conflicts. Second, massive gold reserves. Third, a robust economy with notoriously low inflation and incredibly low national debt. And finally, an independent, fiercely proactive central bank that acts less like a boring government bureau and way more like a massive, aggressive global investment fund. And then there's the hidden trump card. Notice that while 95% of the Swiss National Bank's reserves are in various global assets, Switzerland physically holds roughly 1,040 metric tons of gold. They are one of the top 10 gold holders on the planet, giving their currency an irrefutable backbone of tangible, physical wealth that almost no other modern currency can even claim. Because of this fortress-like design, foreign capital just continuously pours in. In 2020 alone, over 1,216 billion Swiss francs in foreign investment were parked right in the country. This capital acts as an active, immediate support for the currency's value every single time the world panics. It's basically a self-fulfilling prophecy of wealth and safety. So what's the ultimate takeaway here? The Swiss franc wasn't just born a safe haven, and it definitely wasn't an accident of geography. It was forged in the absolute fire of economic chaos, evolving from 319 chaotic coins down to 1, and it was engineered through ruthless, unwavering monetary discipline to outlast every single global disaster the 20th and 21st centuries could throw at it. Which leaves us with one final fascinating question. If the next global financial crisis happened tomorrow, would your money be truly safe? Would you trust your life savings in Swiss francs? Tell us your opinion in the comments below. If you thought this explainer was incredible, wait until you see the next one. Click the video on your screen right now to uncover another massive financial mystery, and I'll see you there.